Thousands of English learners want to pass the IELTS test every year because they have a dream and the great desire to study or work in Canada, Australia, England. It is a test where 4 competencies are evaluated: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. Today we're going to speak about the IELTS speaking portion of the test. Now, I hope that you're excited and you stay tuned because I'm going to give you tips that are going to be useful for you for before and during the exam. So you can pass with a band of 8 or even 9. I hope you're excited. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Francisca, English Confidence Mentor from English to Thrive. You can follow me here on Instagram. And in today's video, it's been very requested because I know a lot of you have the great dream of studying and working and thriving in English speaking scenarios such as Canada, England, Australia, and you want to thrive, you want to succeed, and part of that is speaking and communicating successfully. Now, the IELTS test is evaluated on a band score up till 9 being the highest. And the ideal thing is that you get a high score because many universities or many companies, they require a minimum of a band. Now, in my case, when I went to England to do my master's degree of translation, subtitling, and interpreting, they required me to have a band of at least 7 point something. So you're going to want to be prepared. So if you're excited to watch this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified of every single Friday that I release videos about English confidence for tech-savvy, ambitious professionals. Now, as an anxiety and depression survivor and someone who's prone to having anxiety when, I have something important coming up, such as an exam, I can tell you that nerves are a normal thing, but you cannot let them control you, okay? See, I passed the IELTS, I think with a band score of 7 point something, almost 8. And the highest score that I had was the speaking one. As you can see, I love to speak. You can see that all through my YouTube videos. So the first tip that I am going to suggest is this one. Watch for your posture and attitude. What do I mean? Confidence is everything, okay? And so, first of all, the IELTS speaking portion is going to be you and an examiner. So it's like you're having an interview, a job interview. If you've had that experience, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking. So make sure that when you enter the room, you are like this, head up high, your chest up, almost like a superhero. Now, I talk more about that in this video right here, but it is amazing how your posture and attitude can make or break things. See, if you think, oh my God, I'm so nervous, I'm gonna make mistakes, you probably will, okay? So the idea is that you have your posture up, that you smile, okay? Because when you smile, even if you feel nervous or even if you feel anxious, trust me, I understand, this will trick your brain into believing that you're happy, that you are excited. And another thing, nerves and excitement are 2 emotions that can overlap. Maybe you say you're nervous, but probably you're excited. So when you're in front of the examiner, make sure that you don't look down. Do not fidget. What is fidgeting is like, moving your leg or like your hands, because also attitude is contagious. So you want to make sure that you have a confident attitude so that the examiner is also transmitted of those feelings. Okay, so when you smile, you're gonna get a smile back. If your posture is all like this, your tone is strong, and we're gonna speak about tone in a second, but this is the most important, and this is the base, and that is what is going to increase the possibilities of you having a successful outcome. Now, what's going to help you have a positive attitude is before the exam, maybe days before, weeks before, visualize, okay? And this is an exercise that I make my students inside the English Confidence Method do. If you want to know more about that, you can check out the link below. It's my signature program where tech-savvy professionals go from limited and frustrated to absolutely confident and fluent so that they can capitalize on career opportunities in English-speaking scenarios, okay? So you wanna make sure that you check that. But yeah, I make them do visualization. So what is a visualization? It can be an audio, an inspiring audio with inspiring and positive music and with positive messages. So for example, there's an audio that they listen to, they imagine that they're on stage. They're a speaker on stage and they are so motivated and they are so encouraged. So it doesn't have to be a visualization about you being on stage, but it can be a visualization of you feeling relaxed, of you having one-on-one conversations that are peaceful, that are fun, that are exciting. Even if that's not true, that's gonna trick your brain into thinking that it is. And so it is very important that you have that outcome in mind. Imagine yourself with a, IELTS speaking test score of a 9 and who knows? So posture and attitude, very important. Now the second tip, and this is for during the exam, is speak up, okay? So watch for your pace and tone. Same as posture, that you have to show yourself confident, same with the tone. Examiner is not gonna think that you are feeling confident if you speak like this. Okay, see, my name is Francis. No, you have to watch your tone and speak out loud, okay? Not too loud and not too soft. There has to be a normal tone because they not only watch out for grammar, pronunciation, they also watch for how you communicate, because the idea is that when you are in an English-speaking country, that you can get specific outcomes in the workplace, for example. So if they see that you do not communicate efficiently and with confidence, they're probably going to think this person is not ready to thrive in an English-speaking scenario. And the pace. There's this misconception that just because you speak fast, you're fluent. It's important that you speak sort of fast, but do not run. And this happens if you're nervous. If you speak fast, first of all, it's more likely that you're gonna make mistakes. Okay, it's more likely that you're gonna get more nervous when you make the mistake. So it's important that you watch your pace. So not too fast and not too slow. Okay, so balanced. It's also important that you watch your breathing. Make sure you breathe in and breathe out. This not only will relax you, but it will also influence how you use your voice. And it will make your voice sound clearer. Now, I say this because, I'm also a musician, I'm also a singer, and I know that when I use my diaphragmatic breathing, the diaphragm fills with air, this part, and this makes me vocalize better. So to summarize, it's not only important what you say, meaning that you use grammar well and all of that, but how you say it. That is what would qualify you as an efficient communicator in English. Now let's go to tip number 3. Now, one of the mantras that I teach my students inside the English Confidence Method is action brings confidence. And so this tip has to do with preparation beforehand. You see, you cannot expect the day of the exam and you haven't prepared all to feel confident. No, if you don't prepare, that's gonna make you feel nervous. So the best way to prepare yourself is by taking action. And this would be doing exercises. So there's an exercise, I talk about it all the time, shadowing. And also an exercise that I created that's called the Everyday Imitation. You can check out an audio below so you can practice. It has expressions, everyday expressions that you can use in interviews and you can use in your IELTS test. So make sure that you check out the link below. If you do these 2 exercises, they're gonna make you feel more confident. So I'll put you an example. I'm an interpreter as well, and I have an interpreting event tomorrow. And so I always make sure that I revise the vocabulary, that I listen to the audios of the speakers. Because if I don't do that, that means that I'm gonna get into my, the cabin of the interpreting scenario. I'm gonna feel more nervous because I'm going to feel like I haven't prepared and I'm gonna be prone to making more mistakes. So you don't want that. And so the antidote for anxiety and nerves is often preparation. So you can prepare by doing these 2 exercises. You can also prepare by speaking with friends. Maybe you have a friend that's also preparing for the exam. You can call him, and that will make you feel like you're not alone. You can call him and practice, and you can record those talks, and you can listen to it again and review, you know, what mistakes you've done and then correct them. So start taking small actions that are going to lead you to the big moment. And also get comfortable with discomfort. Every time that you speak, if you're just learning English, I know it can be very nerve-wracking to speak in front of people. You know, maybe you think what are they going to think about me, but this is just what you have to do, is overcome those fears. And to learn more about this, about the secret to feeling more confident while speaking, you can check out this video right here. But yes, if you do not prepare, you are increasing your chances to feel more anxious and to feel less confident. So preparation is key. Preparation in practice, and also preparation in mentality. Do not wait until you're in front of the IELTS examiner to have a conversation. There are IELTS topics in Google. You'll see that sometimes they ask about arts, about culture, about study. So make sure that you do that little Google search, IELTS topics, and then you can ask an English teacher or a friend of yours to practice those topics. And that way, you're gonna feel more prepared. Now, number 4 is show off your rich vocabulary. The difference between someone who is a beginner or an intermediate and someone who's advanced and native like myself is that we have very, very, very wide vocabulary. So instead of saying the word happy, I feel happy, we say I feel thrilled, I feel excited, I feel joyous, okay? So use more formal vocabulary and try and use synonyms. It's like when I teach my students about writing, okay? So it does not show the same abundance of vocabulary if in the same paragraph you use the same word like a bunch of times. That denotes a lack of you dominating the language. And so you must be thinking, how can I widen my vocabulary? How can I make it bigger? There's an amazing exercise, and it is to subscribe to newsletters. So for example, you subscribe to newsletters of topics that you like. For example, I'm subscribed to a lot of entrepreneurial newsletters because I love it. And make sure that you every day have the habit of revising those emails. And if you note down a word that you don't know, put it in your notes app or put it in your notebook and find out the meaning. There are excellent tools such as Word Reference or Lingui. I'm gonna link them below. That habit alone is gonna widen your vocabulary so much. So when you get into the examination, the IELTS speaking test, you don't repeat the same word, but you vary it with different synonyms. An important thing is that you don't say a word that you don't know how to use. Of course, it's important to show your rich vocabulary, but if you don't know how to use a word, don't use it. Because in order to try and sounding more formal, like you know the word, you're gonna use it badly, and that's gonna be a mistake that's gonna make you more nervous. And the examiner will notice that you just said it because you wanted to seem smart, but not because you dominate that particular word or phrase. Example of rich vocabulary in phrasing, it could be, instead of you saying, I love my career because I get to help people every day, what you could say is, you could add a rich structure, which is, what I love most about my career is that I get to help people every day. And remember that you can always add something more to your phrase. See, it's not the same to say, in my next vacations, I want to go to Poland. Guys, that phrase is not the same as saying, in my next vacations, I want to go to Poland because that is Chopin's land. That's a land with so much culture, so much music. You see the difference? You're adding more words, and that will make you sound like a pro speaker. Now, before I reveal the last 2 IELTS speaking tips and how to feel more confident before and during your exam, I want to know, do you have an IELTS test coming soon? How are you feeling? Are you feeling nervous? Are you feeling excited? Write it below and I'll make sure that I send you my biggest and best vibes so that you can succeed. Number 5 is prioritize natural communication and not memorization. There needs to be a balance between you being prepared but you improvising and speaking, you know, like a native English speaker, naturally. So for this, I would say it's important that you study, but try not exaggerate. Full disclosure, for my IELTS test, I didn't even study. I didn't study. And for my IELTS speaking test, I didn't study. I just had a super high advanced level. And of course, I cared about the test. Okay, and I revised some stuff. But I made sure that I trusted my level and myself and my abilities as a speaker so that I can succeed. So yeah, do your research about topics, and maybe you can attend a course that prepares you. But other than that, do not focus too much on the structure of the exam, because that's gonna make you feel even more nervous. At least for me, when I'm gonna give an exam, I like to that day, not think about it anymore and just like go and take it. Now, what can help you sound like a more natural speaker is practicing great answers to questions. Okay, so maybe you're gonna practice with a friend that has an advanced level that can help you out. You can tell him to ask you random questions, okay? Questions you haven't even heard before, so that you can practice your improvisation skills. So what the answer question exercise will do is honing your creativity and improvisation skills, and that is the whole idea of communication. And what would the examiner want to see of you is being a natural communicator that can improvise and is not there only to say memorize stuff that do not seem natural. And another great tip is immersive exercises. So it's not the same to have a list of words and memorize them, which can help to widen your vocabulary, as to listening to songs and music. That is another way that you can widen your vocabulary. And because it's something that you would do while you do other stuff, it becomes a part of your environment, and that will help you become a more natural communicator as well. The more that you immerse yourself with the sound, the more that you immerse yourself with daily activities, even if you're not in an English-speaking country. If you say that you don't practice because you're not in an English-speaking country, I'm sorry, that is an excuse, okay? So stop that. Now, the last tip, and this is a very important one, is concision. Be concise. So I understand as a Spanish speaker myself, okay? Spanish speakers tend to say a lot of words. Spanish is a lot less concise than English. And I've noticed in conferences where I've been or I've interpreted speakers that sometimes in Spanish, people tend to go around the bush, meaning they do not say the answer to the question. They say a lot of phrases that do not contribute to the answer that the interlocutor is asking. So I give you an example. If the examiner asks you about your career goals, like what are your career goals in Canada? It's okay if you say, well, ever since I was a little girl, I loved to help people. So in Canada, I really want to work in an NGO, and I want to help people that are, okay, it's okay. You can say some phrases, but do not expand too long that the answer is lost. Meaning there needs to be a balance between answers that are long but concise. To that, you can use connectors. I explain more about connectors in this video right here. Always prioritize concision and communication instead of length. Not because you speak more means that you're gonna get a higher score, okay? The important thing is that you just answer the question, okay? And that you use phrases in a way that are elegant. Because let me tell you, native English speakers, they do not take a lot of time answering questions. They expect just the answer and that's it. And if you extend too long without communicating what they want to know, then they will get impatient. This will make you seem like an amateur speaker. So do not fall in the trap of speaking a lot and just unloading a lot of sentences. Again, do a little search on what the IELTS topics are, and so you can practice concise but elegant answer. okay? I know this is a hard habit to break, but believe me, this is where communication dies. Like, if you're not concise, then communication is just not as efficient as it could be. So let's do a recap. Okay, the first one, posture and attitude. Second, speaking up. So watch for your tone and pace. Third one, action brings confidence, so practice and prepare. Fourth one, show off your rich vocabulary. Fifth one is prioritize natural communication and not memorization. And sixth one, concision. Okay, I hope these tips helped you and made you feel more prepared to pass your IELTS speaking portion of the test. It's such an important portion. The examiner wants to feel that you're confident and that you're going to develop yourself successfully in communication in your English speaking scenario, right? And so visualize that outcome, and I'm sure that you'll be great. And if you have any questions about this, make sure that you comment below and I can help you out. And as I said earlier on, action brings confidence. If you want to take action and you want a roadmap and a signature methodology to go from limited and frustrated to absolutely confident and fluent so that you can grow professionally and capitalize on opportunities in English speaking scenarios, click the link below and we can have a chat to see if you're a fit for the English confidence method. Now, your dream to go and study and work in Canada or Australia or England is real and it matters. So if you want a mentor that helps you get to that stage so you can communicate successfully and thrive with confidence in an English speaking scenario, do not pass this opportunity. Again, link below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like so we can reach more people with the algorithm. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and check out this playlist next on sounding like a native English speaker, because pronunciation is also important on your IELTS speaking test. Don't forget to watch this video on overcoming anxiety while speaking English. This will make you feel even more confident, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.